What up, YouTube? Before we start the video, we got a very important announcement for you.
That's right, we have our new milestone giveaway for 2,000 subscribers. That is a CGC 9.8 graded Thor #1. This cover is a Nick Klein sketch variant that is also signed by Donnie Cates.
What? Are you crazy? Yes, we are. When we hit 2,000 subs, we're giving away this bad boy. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It would be much appreciated because we want to give this away, but we only can do that when we hit 2,000 subs. Let's get to the video. What up, YouTube? I'm Jim, and it's Two Fat Guys Pull Us, and we've got another new Comic Book Day video for you for the week of May 8th. And that's right, I'm flying solo, but it's all right. I'll get you through it. Let's talk about some new comics that are coming out today. First up, we've got Ain't No Grave, issue #1 from Image Comics, Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. So we've got the Dream Team here, and this is actually on Nate's pull and not mine. I had no idea this book was coming out, and now I'm gonna have to get it because I saw it and I saw who was doing it, and I am super excited for that creative team. You know, we're doing this fantasy old, Western here. I don't know, man. This cover's just got me jazzed, and the fact that it's Scotty Young and Corona, I wasn't even thinking about I didn't even know this book existed, and I'm going to be picking it up. So thanks, Nate. We're definitely going to have a blast reviewing this one on Sunday. After that, we got the Deviant issue #5. This is one of Nate's favorite books right now on his list and on the show. I am not at all partaking in this, but it is Tiny Onion, and he is digging the hell out of this series. I think there are a ton of books this week on the independent side that I think Nate's gonna have a really hard time picking his pick of the week, and this is definitely one of the top ones. It's a crazy deep horror / social issue story, and I'm just not into this kind of horror, but Nate is definitely a big fan of this book, so very interested to see what he has to say about it. Next up, we have the Energon Universe 2024 special from Image Comics. This just looks like a silly goose time. I would assume this is kind of like our annual here for the Energon Universe from Kirkman with the Transformers, Void Rivals, and G.I. Joe. And I am very excited for this. My expectations are wild, and looking forward to it. I have been such a fan of what we're doing over here with Transformers and G.I. Joes and Void Rivals with Kirkman. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. I am in the same boat with Nate that there are plenty of books on our pull this week that it'll be very hard for me to pick a pick of the week to have my patois. And I'm sure I'll have multiple patois. That's just going to be the way it's going to be this week. I'm just going to let you know right now. All right, after that, we've got The One Hand issue #4 from Ram V. Nate has been all about this book. I read the first issue, but I jumped off just because I had so many books. But Nate is continuing on, and he has said nothing but positive things about this book. And it's just an interesting. I love the dynamic between this book and the other one, the Six Finger book, and how they're kind of coinciding with each other with different writers and just getting the two different perspectives. So getting Nate's review on this, I'm always very interested to hear about it. And I'm sure I'll be, biting my tongue later to the fact that I wasn't staying on it. But Nate, like I said, Nate's going to have a hard time this week picking a pick of the week. This is another one, The Sacrificers. Now, this one I know has been up and down for Nate. 1 week 1 month it's on a high, the next week it's kind of not. But it's Rick Remender, and I know he does enjoy this book. And again, I'll be interested to hear his review on this one because it is wild. It is a wild book, and it always amazes me just kind of the narrative and where it goes every week when Nate describes and gives his reviews on this book for sure. Ooh, Transformers, Daniel Warren Johnson, Jorge Corona. Dude, this book, the issue 7 was just so fucking awesome. And so I am, again, I love me Transformers. You guys know that. And it'll be hard. We're really diving deep into past lore, but also it feels like Daniel Warren Johnson is taking Transformers in somewhat of a new direction, which is very refreshing and nice. The dude just gets it, and I hope he stays on this book as long as possible on the writing side. I hope one day he does come back for the art. That's not. I am not stepping on Corona's toes though. Like, he is doing a phenomenal job. He has done something that apparently a lot of other people within the industry can't seem to figure out, which is have consistency between differentiating artists, and he's doing such a great job of it. And I like it. It's been so good, and this is only, I think this is only his second issue, so I am totally looking forward to this. All right, over at Mad Cave Comics, we've got Dave Papos's The Devil That Wears My Face, issue number 6. This, I think, will be Nate's definitive patois. He loves this fucking book. I mean, he is all about it. I think there were a couple issues back. They had like demon possessed Corndithadorth, and I again, I don't read horror books, but Nate does, and he has. I mean, anytime he gets a chance to talk about this book, he is on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. This is going to be his potential pick of the week. I know it. I know it's going to be. He absolutely loves this book. He loves the dynamic of the book, the story of the book, the art, the whole thing. He is all about it. So, as much as I don't like horror, I will be very interested to hear what Nate has to say about this book. But I'm going to call it now. This is going to be his patois. Without a shadow of a doubt, this Sunday, this is his patois. Guaranteed. Hey, I'm interrupting the video. It's only because I've got something really important to tell you. I know you know what we're giving away when we hit 2,000 subscribers. I gotta let you know about what we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. We're giving away this Uncanny X-Men #1 signed by Jim Chung, CGC grade 9.8. When we hit 1,250 subscribers, you could potentially win this, but you have to be subscribed to our channel. So hit that sub button, ring that bell, give us a like. Let's get back to the video, shall we? All right, jumping over to Marvel, we got The Avengers issue number 14 from McKay, tying into Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt kicked off with just, I was not expecting Blood Hunt to be as good as it was, and it was one of my patois last week. And so it'll be interesting to see, where McKay, because obviously he's playing with a new range of heroes, because we've got our Avengers, or his current Avengers team, doing their thing in Blood Hunt. So it looks like we're going to have Hercules and Hazmat and Hawkeye and Captain America and Quicksilver kind of, stepping up and kind of doing the street level Avengers thing here, while our other Avengers are dealing with some shit up in space, with some vampires. So, I know there are a ton of Blood Hunt tie-ins right now, and I've said this before. Any Blood Hunt tie-in that's currently involved in a book that I'm reading, I will read. Outside of that, I'm not doing any of the other tie-ins, because there are a shit ton of tie-ins for Blood Hunt. So this will just be my my exposure to Blood Hunt. Any other book that's on my pull list currently that is involved in Blood Hunt, those are the tie-ins I'm going to read. So again, McKay, let him cook, because he is just firing right now when it comes to the narratives he's building over at Marvel. He has the weight of Marvel on his shoulders right now, and I'm here for it. Totally here for it. After that, we have Captain Marvel issue number 8 from Melissa Wong. We're getting, it feels like this arc is starting to wrap up. I think actually this series is no longer, I think it's going to end. I could be wrong on that. But we're getting this, I would assume this is the first cover appearance of this baddie here. This story's okay. I really like Alyssa Wong's work, but this Captain Marvel run currently is just kind of meh for me right now. I'm sticking with it, but I'm just not. It just didn't. I don't know if that's just, it speaks more volumes of Stephanie Phillips's Captain Marvel run, or was it Kelly Thompson? I can't remember who wrote it. One of the two. But this run's been kind of meh. It's been it's been okay, but it hasn't been as engaging as the previous run. So, let's see how it concludes and if it keeps on moving forward or not, but it's okay. Next up, we have Daredevil issue number 9, and in our annual, I believe, or our not our annual, our oversized issue from last week, we got Matt, starting to, it seems like, come to terms with his past. Like, it's starting to kind of build up to him where he's you know, recognizing his past, recognizing his feelings for Elektra, and it looks like he's going to get caught up in it again. And to see Elektra back as, back in the fold, still as a daredevil, I'm so here for that. And just this journey that Murdoch is going on with fighting these actual personifications of the deadly sins, I think is so kick-ass. The story has been super fun. I'm excited for it. I've been pleasantly surprised. I mean, I wasn't like anticipating not liking the new Daredevil run, but I'm really digging the run currently. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Deadpool issue number 2 from Cody Ziegler, and me and Nate both liked, we liked it, but we were a little, not, I wouldn't say frustrated, but we were just, there were some storylines and characters that got left out from the previous run, and Ziegler apparently came out and said like, hey, look, listen, don't worry, don't fret, I've got a plan. And so I am still going to read this book. I'm still picking it up. I'm not down on it. It just was a little frustrating to see some characters left out from the previous run, but it looks like there's a plan. I'm loving Deadpool. I mean, I like Deadpool. Anytime I get an opportunity to have Deadpool in my pool, he's gonna be involved. So, I trust Cody. We'll say that. All right, our last Marvel book of the night is a Fall of the House of X tie-in, the X-Men Forever issue number 3. These are these kind of little, fill in the blank, fill in the plot hole issues for X-Men, just kind of tying up or connecting dots. So when we get into these other bigger books that are ending the series, that's what these books do. And they're fine. They do their job. Sometimes, issue 1 I thought was a lot more insightful than issue. Well, no, I'd take that back. Issue 1 was okay. Issue 2 is a lot more insightful than issue 1. So maybe as we build up, they just get more and more intense and more divulging of information. But we'll have to wait and see. They're okay. They're fine. I dig it. Love the Mark Brooks cover though. This is a great cover. So we're just trudging along on the end of X-Men here right now. All right, jumping over to DC, we have Batman issue number 147 from Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. And again, I like Chip's Batman run. I am not a real big fan of this Amanda Waller summer event storyline. And I know, Chip's got to do, it's part of the plan, right? So again, but the storyline that we're dealing with where Bruce is basically fighting Failsafe again with his alternate ego infused into it is a really kick-ass storyline. So I will just force myself to see that, and any kind of Amanda Waller stuff, I'm just kind of like, whatever. But Jorge Jimenez on the art, that's a fucking gold star for me right there. That guy is the GOAT over there at DC. So our last book of the night, we got Birds of Prey, issue number 9 from Thompson. And this arc that we've started where we're trying to save Babs from going on a mission, because if she does, she's going to die, initially kind of started flat for me, but it has definitely picked up. The last issue was really good. I don't know if we've got the same artist, so let's double check, because the artist that's been on the book for the past 2 issues, I've actually quite enjoyed. I know Nate hasn't. He's actually kind of not in the camp of digging that artist, but I have been digging the hell out of it. Let's see. It doesn't look like it. So Pena was on the art last week, past 2 weeks. We got a new artist. So DC never ceased to fails the just the lack of consistency. And usually when this stuff kind of happens, it feels like it kind of kills the book sometimes. So I'll try to stay positive, but I like Birds of Prey. But when we can't keep a consistent artist, it's frustrating. And again, look over at Transformers with Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona. Like, they both match, or Corona matches Daniel Warren Johnson's style, so it just feels seamless. And when we get into these kind of situations, I'm going on a rant with DC, it's just like every 2 issues we have a new artist, and it's just, I would much rather have a book be delayed for however long if you're going to keep the same artist on it and deliver some consistency. That's just my 2 cents is what it is. But see what happens in the book. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's New Comic Day for the week of May 8th. Let us know down in the comments. What are you picking up today? What are you reading first? And what's your potential pick of the week? We'd love to know. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It'd be much appreciated as we're on the road to 1,250 subscribers, but we can't do it without your support. So please make sure to hit that sub button, enter that giveaway, because we're giving away some cool stuff. We'll catch you guys live this Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll talk about all these books and more. Definitely X-Men 97. Every episode gets better and better of that show. So we'll catch you. We'll definitely talk about some of that. And hopefully Nate will be here. He just had a really big move, and he's still setting up shop. And so we're still kind of getting through the weeds on that and getting through the logistics of getting his whole setup reset so that we can have the show properly and it's not just an audio box of Nate. So cross your fingers, but I'm sure Nate will be here this Sunday. But if not, I will be, and we will talk about all these books and more. As always, fam, be kind to one another and read more comics. Later.